Hello, and welcome to today's training. This is Roxy Caines, and I'm pleased to have you join us for Tax Time Solutions for Long-Term Financial Stability. This training is hosted by the Get It Back campaign, and if you don't know what that is, it is a national effort to connect lower and moderate income workers to the Earned Income Tax Credit, the Child Tax Credit, free tax help, and other tax benefits, as well as asset building opportunities. With 2018 rapidly approaching, we know that tax season is around the corner. The start of the new year is an opportune time for organizations offering free tax preparation for low and moderate income families and individuals. Tax time can serve as a unique opportunity for workers to address their overall financial stability and assess their goals for the upcoming year. Today, Communally will share how its online services, the Benefit Bank and MyBudgetCoach, can profoundly enhance financial stability for families and individuals at and beyond tax time. Today's training is presented by Communally. Communally combines innovative technology, public policy expertise, and community outreach to deliver web-based services that can help move individuals and families out of poverty. We have the great fortune to learn from not one, but three presenters. Let me briefly introduce them to you. Peter Rubenstein is the Chief Revenue Officer. He manages the business development strategy for all of Community's services and directs the sales, training, and account management teams that implement this strategy. Peter is a respected expert and speaker on the conceptual development and successful use of technology to improve outcomes for community-based nonprofit organizations. Peter's proudest professional achievement is the creation and ongoing success of the MyBudgetCoach online financial coaching platform. Mary Whalen embraces Community's goal of ending poverty. As Director of Strategic Initiatives, she is accountable for the long-term strategic sustainability of the company. Mary oversees the development and implementation of the company's marketing strategy and identifies opportunities where the company can grow its services. And we also have Sarah Marshall. Sarah recently joined the Communally team in March as the Marketing and Communications Specialist. She brings several years of experience in this field, most recently serving as the Press Officer and Communications Manager with the National Rowing Association. She has also served as a Sports Information Specialist for major college sporting events. So now I will turn it over to Communally.
Thanks, Roxy, and thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome to the Tax Time Solutions for Long-Term Financial Stability, brought to you by us, Communally, the anti-poverty technology company. We're very excited to have a thoughtful and informative conversation on how tax time can be an integral part of eradicating poverty in the United States. Our mission at Communally, like Roxy said, is to assist low and moderate income individuals and families to move from the crisis of poverty to being able to make real choices in their lives. Communally combines its technology and public policy expertise with a commitment to community outreach to generate practical solutions to the complex problems of poverty. We partner with community-based organizations to use our technology to connect individuals and families to the benefits, the income supports, and financial wellness services they need to lift themselves out of poverty. And it should be stated that no other organization matches our ability to build expert systems driven by in-depth public policy research and implemented through a celebrated model of community outreach. So a little bit more about us. At Communally, we recognize that a vital component to ending poverty is to build vibrant communities. And for this reason, we chose to be a leader in the sustainable business community of the Philadelphia region. We hold a broad view of what it means to be a sustainable business that encompasses the economic needs of low-income, urban, and rural communities, the equitable capital requirements of social impact companies, the recognition that workers must balance effort with replenishment to avoid burnout, as well as environmental stewardship. Communally, to just give you a little more background of us, chose to become a private sector company because of the flexibility, discipline, and speed of response it offers to demonstrate to our current and potential partners our commitment to the communities that we serve and make it clear where our priorities lie. And that is our triple bottom line of people, places, and profits. And that made us want to become a B Corporation. We are certified by B Lab in 2012, and the B Corp certification is an excellent fit with our values. It allows us to be a company that brings a unique combination of skills, attitudes, and experiences to our fight against poverty. And just this past fall, Communally was named a 2017 Best for the World in the overall category, as well as in customers and long-term categories by scoring in the top 10% of all B Corps of the B Impact Assessment. And additionally, the company is one of the 2017 Best for the World Changemakers list, which was new this year. We've been a Philadelphia institution for the past quarter of a century, and Communally is actively engaged with other sustainably driven organizations within the community, including the Sustainable Business Network, the Social Venture Network, the Independent Business Alliance, and the America's Promise Alliance. And as a company that has a conscious corporate culture, we embrace the concept of inclusion and diversity within our internal company culture and our relationships with businesses and community partners as well. Our mission is quite simple, but it's obviously complex, and that is to defeat poverty. We don't want to make it manageable. We truly want to eradicate it. And how we hope to do that is through our two cloud-based services called the Benefit Bank and MyBudgetCoach, which Peter will get into with more details shortly. So part of that philosophy is moving from crisis to choice. For families experiencing financial instabilities, becomes even more complicated when you consider the lack of resources, the lifelong struggles, and the exclusions that some families face. Living in poverty for a protracted period of time effectively excludes people from the hope and opportunities that are the foundation of American society. And our technology at Communally seeks to fix that, helping bridge the gap between those in need and the seemingly unattainable assistance that is available to them. So before we really dig into the meat of our presentation, we wanted to have a quick poll to see just exactly who we were talking to today. What is your role at your organization? We have free tax prep by the site or program manager, tax prep volunteer, executive director, financial coach, or other.
So most people on this call are free tax prep site program managers, 42%. Tax prep volunteers are 12%. Executive directors are 8%. Financial coach or counselor is 46%. And then we have 23% as other. And let's see if anyone has submitted a description of what other means. We have financial education instructor, someone who works in healthcare, financial wellness coordinator. Okay, thank you.
So up next, I'm going to introduce our Director of Strategic Initiatives, Mary Whalen, who will take us into a little bit more background on what we'll be talking about today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Excuse me. And I am going to talk, before Peter really gets into the services we offer at Communally, more the higher view of the importance of these tax credits to the low-income families that we all seem to be working with. And from the poll was very helpful because it shows that I am sure a large percentage of the people on the phone are well aware of these tax credits and the value that they offer their families. But I just want to reiterate it just to get you pumped up as you go into tax season and really realize what you're doing to help your clients. We all know that tax credits are a successful and critical anti-poverty program. Many people say that these are the best anti-poverty programs, the most successful. They're programs that really have a lot of bipartisan support because you have to be working to claim them. So they're ones that people on the more conservative side are strongly in support of. And then anything that's going to help low-income people get more money in their pocket is going to be appeal to folks who are more on the liberal progressive side. As CBPP research has shown, EITC and the Child Care Tax Credit have collectively moved 9.8 million people out of poverty in 2015. This included 5.1 million children. If you think about the impact that has, it's incredible. Also, on top of that, about 22 million people were at least alleviated at some level in the gravity of the poverty that was occurring in their lives. And again, including 8 million children. On top of this, there has been many studies that have shown long-term impacts on health, education, and employment for both the person applying, the adult in the family, as well as the children who are receiving the support from the EITC and the Child Care Tax Credit. So again, looking from the poll and how people responded, I don't think I need to go into too much about what the Earned Income Tax Credit is. The one reminder I want to make is, and again, I'm sure all of you know this, but anyone who is working, even if they know they don't owe taxes, needs to fill out their tax form so that they can get the EITC. Even though all the good work that we're all doing to do outreach and get people to understand the importance of filling out their taxes to claim these credits, 23 states, the participation rate is still, at least according to the most recent data of the IRS, which was from tax year 2014, only 80% of those who are eligible are receiving the tax credit. In the other states, it's still below 90%. So if you think about that, at minimum, 1 in 10 people who are eligible for the EITC are not getting it, and the money is not going in their pocket. This means that they're leaving an estimated $16.3 billion. Let me repeat that, billion, not million, billion, collectively on the table that should be going in their pockets and not into having more money for the government to spend how they want. At Communally, one of the services that Sarah had highlighted and that Peter's going to talk more about is the Benefit Bank. And in tax year 2016, which was the most recent tax year, as you all know, TBB helped 40,000 tax filers at over 2,000 sites get total refunds topping $60 million. So this was the total amount of the refund in taxes, EITC, the refundable child care tax credit. For the EITC, we had 35% of all of our federal tax filers claiming the EITC, totaling nearly $24 million. Again, this is higher than you would see on the national statistics on the percentage of people who file taxes claim the EITC. This is because one of the key pieces that Peter will get into a little later about our service is that we really want TBB sites in neighborhoods where people are low income and where they can go to sites that they trust. So that's why you're seeing about 1/3 of our filers claiming this tax credit. The child tax credit and the additional child tax credit, again, a very important resource for people who are low income. As you know, the child tax credit is intended to offset the many expenses of raising children and can be worth as much as $1,000 per child for tax year 2017. The important thing about the additional child tax credit is that it's refundable. This means, again, if the client does not owe any taxes, they would still get whatever is left over from their child tax credit refunded back to them. And we saw in tax year 2016, nearly 6.5 million people claim the additional tax credit, and it was claimed the additional tax credit by tax filers using the TBB service. Again, this was about 13% of the people who use our service are claiming this vital refund and getting money in their pocket. So now that you have a sense or are re-informed about the importance of these tax credits, I'm going to turn it over to Peter to talk more in depth about our services specifically.
Hi, happy Thursday to everyone. So I'm going to go deeper in on the Benefit Bank and our other service, MyBudgetCoach. But I'll start by giving a general overall view of what the Benefit Bank is. The Benefit Bank, which is free to clients, is the only online service that offers benefits eligibility screening, benefits application filing, and an IRS certified tax assistance and filing service, all on a single streamlined platform. The Benefit Bank benefits and taxes, of course, are customized for each state, so everything matches up to what that state offers and how they offer it. The Benefit Bank is currently available in Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, and Virginia for benefits and taxes, and it's available in North Carolina for state and federal taxes. And of course, it's available nationwide for federal income taxes. So over $50 billion in work supports and tax credits go unclaimed by American families and individuals each year. And this, of course, happens for a variety of reasons, from people simply not knowing that a program exists or not knowing that they may be eligible to that sometimes confusing nature of program applications and tax forms. For those that do need a bit more help completing a program application, their only option may be to go to a county office, wait in line, and hope that someone can answer their question. For those with transportation issues, persons with disabilities, or those that perhaps work during the time these offices are open, getting this help is not an option. At best, the result is incomplete applications, which often means that approval is delayed. And at worst, the result is denial of their application, which can have a tragic impact for a family on the edge of survival. To combat these issues, the Benefit Bank was created. The Benefit Bank is not a form filler. We understand that filling out applications can be a time-consuming and challenging process. Clients completing applications by hand or through state-operated computer-based systems often need to input the same information several times to complete applications for several different programs. To make the process easier, the Benefit Bank Expert System analyzes all of the information that is required to complete all the applications a client would like to apply for, and then it presents a logical question and answer process that a client, assisted by a trained Benefit Bank counselor or on their own using our self-service system, can then complete. Once applications are completed, they are filed electronically, wherever possible, directly into the appropriate state or federal agency's back-end database for approval. The Benefit Bank outreach method is also unique in that we work directly through trusted community partners, which range from nonprofit organizations to faith-based groups to state, county, and city government agencies. The goal is to create vast networks of Benefit Bank sites so that anyone needing the service can find a site conveniently located in their own community. And finally, since 2006, the Benefit Bank has assisted over 1 million individuals claim well over $2.5 billion in work and income supports, helping families go, as Mary and Sarah said, from crisis to choice. So 40,000 people used the Benefit Bank last year to file their federal and state income taxes. The Benefit Bank, of course, uses the assisted self-serve model. So the Benefit Bank, as you can see, presents a logical question and answer process that collects the required information. The process is dynamic so that answers to previous questions impact questions a client is asked further along in the process. And this expertise is all built in to the online system. What we're looking at here is an example of a question that would trigger that dynamic nature of the Benefit Bank. There's no set path. Questions that appear are dependent upon the answers a client provides to previously answered questions. So you can imagine that a client who selects filing jointly or filing on their own, that would impact questions, of course, during that Q&A process. So filling out a tax form is not easy. I don't think I need to say that more than once to the folks on this call. To help users understand more about what information is needed or why a question is even being asked, we've embedded a significant amount of clarifying information into the tax form and benefit application completion process. This information is a vital part of the Benefit Bank and can be seen on each page in green text, which you can see right there below on the screen. On this particular page, I've selected the question in green text near the bottom of the screenshot, what is Form 4868, which has generated a dialog box showing me the answer to that question, giving me the information I need to move on. We want to provide clients with a good idea of how much they stand to receive in tax credits and benefits. This motivates clients to continue with the process and gives them a realistic expectation specific to the tax credits they're eligible for. On this page, you'll see that after answering several tax form-related questions, we are able to give this client an estimation of how much they might receive for an earned income tax credit. The number is generated using their actual information and the specific guidelines for EITC, which are programmed into the system and updated each time they're adjusted by the IRS. It's worth noting that while the Benefit Bank does not directly link to each state or federal health insurance marketplace, it is taken into full consideration when completing taxes. So, as I mentioned before, we strive to give users as much accurate information about their taxes as we can. To that end, just before tax forms are electronically filed, we give Benefit Bank users an accurate and complete summary of the credits and payments applicable for this tax year, as you'll see on the screen. Families and individuals can use this information to better plan their household finances, taking into consideration any payments they'll need to make or refunds they'll receive. For those filers due a refund, we give them several options on the disposition of those funds. You'll see on the screen, noticing the questions in green, that we give users ample information to describe what each option is and why it may or may not be appropriate for them. At the start, I mentioned that the Benefit Bank is not simply a form filler. In fact, users will not even see the actual federal or state tax form until the very end of the process. At that point, all required questions have been asked and answered, with the information populating the appropriate field on the appropriate tax form, as you can see on the screen. The Benefit Bank outputs the exact for updated each year, the exact form updated each year to make sure it's an exact match with federal and state paper forms. And you'll also notice that, of course, the information is easy to read, something that I in particular appreciate. There are no issues with unreadable handwriting. As mentioned before, the Benefit Bank combines taxes and benefits on one user-friendly online platform. This means that tax sites using the Benefit Bank are able to take just a few more minutes to take clients through a brief benefits eligibility assessment. And for this, we use our Quick Check tool, which is what you're looking at. The Quick Check tool takes about 10 minutes and gives the client a good idea of what programs they are most likely to be eligible for. As you can see in the screenshot on the left side, the more stars a program has, the more likely it is the client is eligible for it. Through this process, clients often discover that they are eligible for programs they did not think they would be or did not even know. The benefits application process is very similar in terms of process to the tax form completion process. Based on the programs the household or individual is applying for, the system creates a logical and streamlined question and answer process that eliminates duplication and gathers information so that all required questions can be properly populated on the various application forms, which, whenever possible, are electronically submitted directly to the appropriate federal or state agency. And just as with tax credits and refunds, we seek to give households as much useful information as possible. In these examples on the screen, a household is shown after they've answered the necessary questions, and we're looking at what they are eligible to receive for SNAP and TANF.
So one of the important pieces, again, is that we have found, using conservative estimates, that for every $1 that's invested in the benefit bank, and this includes outreach dollars as well, up to $43 is returned to the community in the form of benefit payments and tax credits and refunds. So not only is this money going back into the community, but it's going into the pockets of the people that need it the most. In addition, there is another economic impact for the community in that if people have this money in their pocket, they're going to spend it almost immediately. I'm sure many of you have heard that for every dollar a family gets back in the earned income tax credit, they spend between $1.70 and $2, or they generate $1.70 to $2 back in the economy by spending it, which means that grocery stores are getting money, maybe more jobs are being created. So it really does have a strong economic impact overall in the community, especially when the tax credits are all federal dollars. So the state and the local communities are benefiting from receiving money back from the federal government. And just to really stress this point, we had a client that came into a site in Ohio this past tax year, during tax year 2016, not realizing, again, stressing the point I was making earlier, that many people think that because they know they don't owe taxes, they shouldn't file. She hadn't filed for a number of years. She was going into the site for other services, and somebody recommended that she just go through the service and fill out the tax form, and found out not only was she owed EITC for tax year 2016, but for a number of other years, and got back in what she was owed in back payments almost $10,000. So you can imagine the impact that has on somebody who is low income and really trying to make their ends meet and probably barely making it living paycheck to paycheck. So now I'm going to turn it back to Peter to talk about our other service, MyBudgetCoach.
Thank you, Mary. So tax time presents organizations with a good opportunity to gently nudge clients that are coming in for free tax prep to also consider working with a trained financial coach or counselor to improve their financial health. We've seen this done a number of different ways, ranging from simply having a sign-up sheet for financial coaching at the tax site, which is very low touch, although much less effective, to sites that staff their tax site waiting rooms with financial coaches during peak hours, so clients, while they're waiting, can actually speak with a coach right then and there. No matter what you do at your tax sites, it is worth keeping in mind that many clients want to get in and out of tax sites as quickly as possible. So engagement with program staff for things other than tax prep should be short, yet convey enough meaningful information about how coaching can improve their financial health so that clients want to come back for a full session with a coach. And we've seen that work really well. Speaking of financial coaching, our second service is the MyBudgetCoach online service, which is an online financial coaching platform used to support and enhance a one-on-one financial coaching engagement between a client and a coach. The platform allows coaches to deliver a full coaching session enhanced by technology, either in person or remotely. MyBudgetCoach combines financial education with a suite of personal financial management tools. The financial education component, which comes in the form of 12 interactive modules that a coach delivers to a client, increases client knowledge about core financial education topics. Each module includes activities that reinforce the topic and homework that clients do on their own that turn knowledge into useful real-world skills. The MyBudgetCoach service uses real-time alerts to celebrate positive events and when a client is having difficulty managing his or her finances. Let's say, for example, that a client has set a monthly spending goal for groceries, and through tracking his or her grocery expenses with MyBudgetCoach, he has exceeded his goals for that current month. MyBudgetCoach will then send out an automated alert to both coach and client via email so that the coach can reach out to the client to support him, therefore reinforcing their relationship, which is dependent on accountability. So MyBudgetCoach clients have their own independent access to the platform. As you can see here, clients, coaches, and program managers all have independent access. Clients use their own site to access the tools and content in between meetings with a coach. Coaches are provided with a unique portal through which they can manage their client caseload and work with individual clients. And program managers have access to a management site where they can see an entire organization's or network's caseload and run reports using our reporting module. Clients working with their coach establish financial goals using the MyBudgetCoach My Goals tool. And on the screen, you'll see examples of the 3 tools that make up our suite of MyBudgetCoach tools. Using the My Goals tool, which can create savings or debt repayment-oriented goals, such as saving for an emergency or paying off medical debt, they can track their progress. And the coach can see everything in real time. Clients and coaches can also select action-oriented goals, like opening up a checking account or writing a will. You'll see the MyBudgetCoach My Expense tool in yellow, which clients will use to track their spending and income. And finally, the third tool, the My Budget tool, allows clients working with their coach to set goals for all relevant household categories, which of course can be changed at any time. All of these tools are available for use on any device, from a desktop computer to a mobile phone. So in a rigorous study conducted by the Center for Financial Security at the University of Wisconsin, MyBudgetCoach was shown to significantly improve the financial health of clients using the platform with their coach. What's more, the research showed that outcomes for clients using the platform and meeting with their coach remotely were every bit as good as the outcomes for clients using the platform but meeting with their coaches in person. In addition, clients enrolled in the evaluation program reported substantial increases in savings and decreases in debt. When compared with other financial coaching programs that have been studied, MyBudgetCoach showed increased client engagement. Client engagement is almost universally problematic for financial coaching programs. The ability to offer coaching online allows coaches to accommodate clients who may have childcare, transportation, or other issues that make it hard for them to meet in person. And finally, if you'd like more information on the Benefit Bank or MyBudgetCoach, I've put my information here and we would love to hear from you. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Peter, Sarah, and Mary for that presentation. So just a reminder, if you have questions, you can type them into the chat box and we will ask them. There are a few questions that have come in. The first question is, how do you identify new locations for TBB sites?
That's a great question, Roxy. This is Peter. So we work with, generally speaking, a lead organization that identifies themselves, usually contacts us, and really it's a grassroots effort. So if the benefit bank doesn't currently exist in your state, but you think that it would be a great resource for literally thousands of organizations throughout the state to use, go ahead and contact us. We'll walk you through the process of how we go from that initial phone call to final implementation. It usually does take a period of time, generally anywhere from 9 to 18 months, but we'd be happy to walk you through it. In terms of MyBudgetCoach, it's a much quicker experience for implementation, but usually it's a program with an existing financial coaching program, and that you have your own coaches who can use MyBudgetCoach with your own clients.
Okay, thank you. And just a follow-up question related to that. What are your plans for expanding to other states? Do you have any target states identified?
So we, knowing the issues that are currently out there today regarding proposed welfare reform, work requirements, you name it, we know that the problems are only going to get worse with folks and access to benefits. So we don't have specific states that we're looking to expand to. We would love to talk to any organization that thinks that this is something that they would like to bring to their state.
Okay, great. And for MyBudgetCoach, that is something already underway in all states?
So MyBudgetCoach is available per organization on a per organization level. Currently available in about a dozen states with many organizations. It is a licensed service, so an organization contacts us and we walk them through the license program. We train them to use the service and get them up and running.
Okay, thank you. And we have one more question at this time. If anyone thinks of any other questions, please do go ahead and type them and submit them to us. The next question is you mentioned a quick check tool. Is that available in all states, or is that something that is only available in certain states with the Benefit Bank?
Technically, to look at exactly what you would qualify in your own state, it would be only available in states that are supporting, the Benefit Bank is supported. However, if you are interested in kind of getting a sense of where somebody would be, anyone can go on and do a quick check. You would just have to pick one of the states that we currently support the service. So it may not be totally accurate, but at least it could give you a sense. And then again, for the EITC and some of the more federally focused programs, the eligibility rules are all the same. So you could do it, you would just have to select a state that we're already supporting.
Got it.
I'll add
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Roxy.
Please continue.
Sure. I'll add that there are opportunities to just get a service that includes the Quick Check tool or a combination of Quick Check and taxes or SSI, SSDI, Quick Check, MyBudgetCoach. We can make things work in a great many different varieties.
Okay, well, thank you again so much. And thank you everyone for participating. We encourage you to reach out to the team at Communally. They have provided their contact information, and we will be sharing that with you as well when we send out the recording and the slides. Communally will also be following up with you and sharing some more information with you as well. We encourage you to stay connected to the Get It Back campaign. Check out our website, blog, Facebook page, and if you aren't currently getting our emails, you can sign up for that as well. If you think of any questions later on, please feel free to email us. So thank you again and have a great day.